Hey guys, welcome back. I hope y'all are doing well. Today I'm continuing down the series for The Carter, and I'm looking at the third installment, which turned 15 earlier this year. I feel this album does have some enjoyable moments, but I don't feel it reaches the height of the previous two albums. I do feel it has some decent production from the many collaborators who helped produce this album. I also felt the features were decent as well. I do feel some of these tracks make up for the tracks that were leaked, which is why he released his extended play, The Leak. Anyways, let's go ahead and hop right into this album. This is his sixth studio album that was released on June 10th, 2008, between this 3 year gap from The Carter 2 being his fifth studio album, and this was mainly mixtape releases, a collaboration album with Birdman, and an EP being, again, The Leak. This album has a runtime of about 1 hour and 17 minutes. This album is just about 20 seconds shorter than The Carter 2, since most versions swap Pussy Monster out for Playing with Fire featuring Betty Wright. This brings the runtime up to about 1 hour and 18 minutes. Birdman, Ronald Slim Williams, and Lil Wayne were all executive producers on the album. Some of the producers include Bangladesh, Cool and Dre, DJ Nasty, and LVM, Infamous, Kanye West, Robin Thicke, Swizz Beatz, and T-Pain. Singles off the album include Lollipop featuring Sag Major, Amelie, Got Money featuring T-Pain, Mrs. Officer featuring Buddy V and K-Kid, and Comfortable featuring Babyface. In an interview, he said that he and Sifa Sounds produced a track called Outstanding, but that track would later be leaked online, along with several other tracks off this album. Wayne also revealed that he planned a track with Eminem, which he was going to sign. Some believe that the request was turned down, but it would most likely turn into Drop the World, which would be on his 2010 album, Rebirth. MTV reported that Wyclef Jean worked on a couple of songs for the album, and a song featuring Justin Timberlake, Nelly Furtado, and Timbaland was likely to appear on here. However, that Timbaland produced track would not make the final cut. David Banner confirmed that he would be credited for 5 tracks on the final cut of the album, but only one was featured. After the copyright controversy of Playing with Fire, the track was later removed and replaced with Pussy Monster, which was also produced by David Banner. Features on the album include Jay-Z, T-Pain, Babyface, Robin Thicke, Bobby V, K-Kid, D. Smith, Stag Major, Briscoe, Busta Rhymes, Betty Wright, Jules Santana, and Fabulous. Let's go ahead and hop into some of the tracks. We start this album off with 3-Peat. I felt this was a decent track to start off the album. The track was produced by Maestro, which I felt he did decently with. Mr. Carter follows us up, and the track contains a verse from Jay-Z. I feel Jay-Z was great in the track, and love his flow and lyrics. Both artists have the last name of Carter, so the track essentially feels like the track is being passed from one Carter to another, or at least the rap game in some shape or form. Furthermore, I'll briefly state that both artists are not related to each other, as I suppose that's a common question, as both artists have the same last name. Overall, I love the production of this track and its overall sound. I feel both artists did decently on the track, and I feel Jay Z was a decent feature. Of course, he has to shout out Beyonce, but besides that, I feel he goes into talking about what he's done in his career this far and essentially what good he has done. Amelie is one of the many tracks that did get leaked. The original version of the song leaked early on several mixtapes. A second version with the first verse from the album version, a verse from Corey Guns, and the final two verses from the original version was leaked prior to the album version. The track was played several times when sampling the record before its release, and was originally slated to appear on The Carter 3 in multiple versions as skit-like tracks featuring artists such as Tyga, Corey Guns, Hurricane Chris, and Lil Mama, though the tracks never made the final cut. Anyways, even if the track was leaked and went through multiple drafts before this final track was released, I feel it is still an enjoyable track to this day. I didn't feel the sample was bad either. I did enjoy Wayne's flows and lyrics on here as well. Got Money is the next track and features T-Pain. Both artists use auto-tune throughout the track, which I feel wasn't as obvious for Wayne at times. I feel the track is essentially about going out and having fun, specifically in some sort of club environment. Dr. Carter brings out some humor. Lyrically, the track is about Wayne reviving the game, essentially as a patient or multiple patients and throughout the lyrics. I love the reference to Can't Tell Me Nothing by Kanye West in the second verse. I feel with how it's used, the line practically leads into that different sounds and styles and even lyrics get reused a ton throughout rap music if an artist likes it. I feel this is also a reference to some of the collaborations that Lil Wayne and Kanye have done before. I wasn't the biggest fan of Phone Home. I felt it was a decent track with its sound and instrumental, but I feel it's more or less its lyrics. Of course, the chorus comes from and is a reference to the movie E.T., the extraterrestrial. I feel the lyrics overall state how he's not a human, which he'd later go on and make two albums of, both of which I covered earlier this year on the channel. Hopping down a bit, I'm gonna have to hit on Lollipop featuring Static Major. I feel this is one of the best tracks of the album with its overall sound and style. The track does sound a little more poppy than the rest of the album, but I feel it makes this track stick out more. I feel this is just a fun track overall with its, sexual references throughout. I'm going to go ahead and close this out with Don't Get It. This track also happens to be the longest, closing in at almost 10 minutes. The track is reminiscent of Kanye West's Last Call, which would be a track with two verses followed by an extended monologue about life. Instead, about talking of life and his career, Wayne dives into the topics of mass incarceration, drug laws, and Al Sharpton. Overall, I thought was interesting with all of these topics that were brought up. My favorite tracks are Mr. Carter featuring Jay-Z, Amelie, Dr. Carter, Lollipop featuring Static Major, and Lala featuring Briscoe and Busta Rhymes. Today, I'll be giving this album a 4 out of 5. I still feel it's a great album 15 years later, but I feel it didn't live up to the previous two albums. Anyways, I hope y'all enjoyed this video. As usual, feel free to leave your thoughts down below in the comments. I want to thank you guys real quick about tuning into the past two videos as well, as I didn't expect them to go much of anywhere view-wise. It's nice to see that there are albums out there that people enjoy and are still interested in, no matter how new or old they are. I decided to roll with this album series for this month, as I figured I'd definitely hit on this album as it turned 15, as well as Carter 5 as it turns 5 later this month. I guess I'll see how the next two do, as next week I'll be heading into the Carter 4 and the Carter 5 the week after that. I feel both of these albums do have some decent tracks and qualities, but I feel my favorite of this series probably has to be the Carter 2. Anyways, in the meantime, next week I'll just be looking at the Carter 4. I'm debating whether or not I should do the deluxe edition or not, but I guess we'll see what happens and what I want to do with this video. So yeah, I guess I'll see you all next time.